Joe Biden has ratcheted up some of his criticism of 45 on Friday, saying that 45's handling of the coronavirus was basically criminal and that he has bungled the economic fallout and that 45 has exacerbated racial tensions in this country. During an hour-long town hall meeting with the labor union AFSCME, the presumptive Democratic presidential nominee warned that the U.S. will likely see a resurgence of the coronavirus and that 45 isn't doing enough to repair. This is basically criminal the way he's handled this, Biden said of 45's leadership in the coronavirus. There's going to be a form of a second wave. I hate to tell you this, but that's what he had added later. Biden said 45's approach has led to more American deaths and a slower economic recovery. Basically, 45 has bungled everything. He said he's bungled us into the worst job crisis in over a century. Biden also attacked the squatter for his focus on reopening. You have 45 saying, open up, open up, open up. Why do you want to open up? Biden said 45 does not care about the public health. He never did. He wants to open up because he wants to say the economy is growing, the stock market's going up, which neither one is. 45's campaign defended him from the criticism, saying, Biden has been lobbing ineffective partisan bombs from his basement, trying to undermine confidence in the federal response and has sought relevance where there is none. Voters know that 45 built the American economy to unprecedented heights before it was artificially interrupted, and he will do it again. No, 45 basically has not built the American economy. He has nothing to do with that shit. And basically, this guy Merkel has said that as the record 2.5 million jobs created and may prove, which technically that's false because those numbers were fudged. On Friday, Biden also had criticized Senate Republicans, saying that they needed to pass the HEROES Act, which would provide another round of federal funding. And basically, Biden said they're so fucking stupid, which a lot of the Republicans are anyway. Biden, a longtime senator known for strong bipartisan relationships, does not typically go after Republican lawmakers in such stark terms. Later on Friday, Biden said in a statement that he supports renaming military installations named after Confederate leaders, and that he would do so within 3 years to take office. 45 this week said the names of military bases should stay the same as they are. Biden also criticized 45 for holding a Klan rally next week and requiring attendees to sign a waiver that they would not sue if they are diagnosed with the coronavirus. The Klan rally is taking place on Juneteenth, a day that celebrates the end of slavery. Did you hear what he just did? He's having a rally on Juneteenth. Biden said all the people coming have to sign a piece of paper saying if they get COVID in this, they cannot sue the campaign. I mean, come on. Referencing the waiver again, later in the remarks, Biden said it showed that 45 knows that the virus is returning. He knows it's a problem, but he's not doing a damn thing about it, Biden said. Biden this week outlined an eight-part plan to reopen the economy while responding to the coronavirus. In it, he proposed more widespread testing, which is going to be funded by the federal government. He also wants the government to build a new healthcare work area, hiring 100,000 new workers to perform contact tracing. Their jobs would later shift toward the other healthcare problems. That's the only way, short of a vaccine, we're going to get this under control, he said. We have to make sure when someone catches the virus, you're able to test and trace it where it came from to be able to quarantine so it doesn't spread. While answering questions, Biden also raised the racial unrest in the past few weeks after George Floyd died in Minneapolis after a police officer put his knee on his neck for nearly 9 minutes. Basically Biden says, look, I'm a white guy. I've been involved in the civil rights movement. I think I understand, but I can't possibly understand what it's like to be a black person walking down the street wondering whether or not I'm just going to be, it's one thing to talk about everything being created equal in America. Well, guess what? The question is whether everybody can be treated equally. Biden cited housing disparities along racial lines. A home in a white neighborhood like his, he said, is valued at 23% higher than an identical home in a predominantly black neighborhood. How the hell do you build equity in your home and pass on the equity to your family, he asked. That's how most Americans gain equity. Yeah.